What if Jamaica ditched the West and joined BRICS? Would this tiny island's decision rock the global economy and tick off some major powers? Imagine Jamaica, the sun-soaked, beach-blessed island we all know and love, deciding it's time to shake things up on the global stage. Imagine it leaving the IMF and the World Bank behind and joining BRICS. That's right, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, plus little Jamaica. Sounds wild, right? Hey, patriotic internet friends and family, welcome back to the channel. In this video, today we're diving into what would happen if Jamaica actually made this decision, how it would affect the economy, and of course, what the drama would be with countries like the US, Canada, and the UK. So grab your popcorn because this is going to be spicy. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more juicy updates on Jamaica's political and social scene. Welcome all patriotic Jamaicans. The movement continues. Make we get into it now. Let's kick it off. So let's rewind for a moment. Why would Jamaica even want to do this? The IMF and World Bank have been around forever, right? They've provided loans and guidance to countries worldwide, Jamaica included. But it's no secret that these organizations often come with conditions that can feel like shackles to developing nations. Jamaica has relied on loans from the IMF and World Bank for decades. These loans have helped stabilize the economy, yes, but there's a cost. A big, scary list of conditions. Higher taxes, cutbacks in social spending, you name it. And let's be real, who likes being told how to run their own household, let alone a whole country? No, picture a fresh new setup. Joining BRICS could mean Jamaica gets access to alternative funding, new trade deals, and a big spot at the table with some of the world's fastest growing economies. We're talking about trade access to 40% of the world's population and the chance to step away from certain Western expectations. But wait, what would this look like in reality? Is this truly beneficial for Jamaica? Stick around as we break down the potential gains and the geopolitical drama brewing on the horizon. The benefits of joining BRICS. Alright, let's get into the potential gains Jamaica could see by teaming up with BRICS. First off, there's the economic leverage. BRICS countries have been building their own financial institutions, like the New Development Bank, NDB, as an alternative to the IMF and World Bank. With the NDB, Jamaica might finally access loans without the notorious austerity measures attached. Key benefits. 1. Access to alternative funding sources. Imagine loans with fewer strings attached, allowing Jamaica to invest in its own growth priorities like education, tourism, and green energy. Imagine cutting-edge resorts, schools, and renewable energy projects popping up across the island. 2. Expanded trade partnerships. BRICS could open up trade routes with massive economies like China and India. For example, Jamaica coffee, Blue Mountain variety, could go beyond specialty shops and become a household name in China. And let's not even start on how reggae music could find an even bigger audience across these regions. 3. 3. Reduce dependency on the US dollar. BRICS has been pushing for a new global currency, one that could rival the US dollar. If Jamaica could trade in a more stable non-dollar currency, it could reduce economic shocks caused by fluctuating exchange rates. No more worrying about the US Fed's every move. But all this change doesn't come without a price. Stick around because we're getting into what Uncle Sam, the Queen, and Canada might have to say about all this. Enter America, Canada, and the UK. Now let's be real. If Jamaica were to leave the IMF and World Bank, it wouldn't exactly go unnoticed. There would be major pushback, particularly from Jamaica's biggest allies, the US, the UK, and Canada. The US reaction: expect pressure. If the US sees Jamaica shifting towards BRICS, it could impose tariffs or cut back on certain aid packages. Imagine a trade war light, but with heavy consequences for Jamaican businesses that rely on US imports and exports. And Canada. Canadians have a soft spot for Jamaica, but they're also closely tied to the US economically. Jamaica leaving the IMF and embracing BRICS could lead to Canada questioning its own relationship with Jamaica, especially if there's pressure from its southern neighbor. But the biggest twist: the UK relationship. Jamaica is a former British colony, and while the two countries have a strong historical bond, Jamaica's pivot towards BRICS would likely ruffle some feathers in London. The UK could push for tougher travel restrictions or change trade deals that are currently favorable to Jamaica. So, is it worth it? Is joining BRICS worth the international tension, the tariffs, and all the potential backlash? Stick around because in a second we'll wrap it up with the final verdict. What could the future hold? So let's say Jamaica takes the leap. It joins BRICS, moves away from the IMF and World Bank, and forms deeper connections with countries like China and India. The economic benefits are real. Better funding options, enhanced trade partnerships, and potentially more control over its economy. But of course, the stakes are high. This decision wouldn't just be an economic one. It would be a statement. Jamaica would be saying, hey, we're ready to forge our own path without the West calling the shots. As much as we'd like to believe in a world of free choices, the reality is that this would be a gamble with unpredictable consequences. And if nothing else, at least the world would finally stop calling us just a tourist destination. Can I get an amen? Amen. Amen to that. Here's a summary of the key points. 1. The financial upside. By joining BRICS, Jamaica could gain new sources of funding and avoid harsh austerity measures often imposed by the IMF and World Bank. 2. Expanded trade opportunities. Access to BRICS countries opens up Jamaica to vast new markets, potentially increasing exports of Jamaican coffee, rum, and even cultural exports like reggae music. 3. The drama factor. America, Canada, and the UK would likely be unhappy with Jamaica's pivot, potentially resulting in tariffs, aid cutbacks, and even travel restrictions. 4. The bold move. If Jamaica is willing to risk a shake-up in its diplomatic partnerships, it could be the start of a new independent economic era for the island. Here are some questions you might have about Jamaica joining BRICS and leaving the IMF and World Bank behind, along with answers that could help address your concerns. These questions dive deeper into the complexities and potential risk involved, providing a well-rounded view for you. Question number 1. Won't leaving the IMF and the World Bank lead Jamaica into economic stability? Answer: while it's true that the IMF and World Bank have historically provided financial support to help Jamaica stabilize its economy, those loans often come with strict austerity measures. This has meant cuts in public spending and increases in taxes, which have limited Jamaica's ability to invest in critical areas like infrastructure, education, and healthcare. Joining BRICS, however, could open the door to alternative funding from the new Development Bank, NDB, which aims to support member countries without enforcing harsh austerity conditions. This might allow Jamaica more flexibility in its growth strategies, enabling it to prioritize its own economic development without excessive foreign oversight. Question number 2. How would this move affect Jamaica's trade relationships, especially with the US, UK, and Canada? Answer: joining BRICS could lead to both opportunities and risk in trade. On one hand, BRICS membership would offer new trade relationships with major economies like China and India, creating chances for Jamaica to expand exports in goods like coffee, rum, and cultural products. However, shifting away from traditional allies could mean that countries like the US, UK, and Canada might respond with protective trade measures such as tariffs and even limit certain types of aid. It would be a delicate balancing act for Jamaica to maintain these historical relationships while building new ones through BRICS. The goal would be to enhance trade diversity, which could reduce dependence on Western markets over time. Question number 3. Wouldn't Jamaica be vulnerable to political and economic influence from BRICS countries? Answer: joining BRICS would indeed bring Jamaica into closer economic alignment with major powers like China and Russia, both of which are known for using economic relationships to gain political influence. However, the NDB's structure is meant to provide fairer, more collaborative financing compared to the IMF and World Bank. BRICS members typically focus on mutual economic benefit rather than imposing direct political conditions. Still, Jamaica would need to approach these new alliances with caution, ensuring that it doesn't trade one form of dependency for another. This could mean negotiating terms that safeguard Jamaica's economic sovereignty while leveraging BRICS growth potential. Keynote and pay attention to that. Question number 4. How would ordinary Jamaicans benefit from this move? Would it really improve their quality of life? Answer: leaving the IMF and World Bank might initially seem risky, but if joining BRICS allows Jamaica more control over its economic policies, the country could focus on initiatives that directly benefit its citizens. Access to less restrictive funding could mean investments in local businesses, tourism, infrastructure, and social programs. For example, more government spending could improve healthcare, education, and public transportation, services that impact daily life. Additionally, by building stronger trade relations with BRICS nations, Jamaica might create more job opportunities domestically. While it wouldn't happen overnight, the These steps could lead to a more prosperous, self-sufficient economy over the long term. Question number 5. What if this decision backfires? Could Jamaica end up isolated and economically worse off? Answer: the risks are real. Alienating traditional allies like the US, UK, and Canada could result in reduced foreign aid, limited trade, and even restrictions on remittances, which are crucial to Jamaica's economy. However, BRICS members could counterbalance this by opening up new funding sources and market opportunities, creating a path to economic self-reliance. It's about diversification. Jamaica would be taking a gamble, but one that could reduce its dependency on any one nation or organization. The key would be to approach this shift gradually, ensuring Jamaica strengthens its BRICS ties while maintaining diplomatic relations with Western allies as much as possible. Question number 6. Would Jamaica's tourism be impacted? Could tensions with the West harm tourism? Answer: tourism is a major income source for Jamaica, and most visitors come from the Western countries. If joining BRICS spark tension, countries like the US and UK might issue travel advisories or impose restrictions, potentially impacting visitor numbers. However, BRICS membership could open up new tourism markets in China, India, and Russia, who are all seeing growing numbers of outbound tourists. Jamaica could adapt by diversifying its tourism marketing to appeal to these BRICS nations, ensuring a more stable flow of visitors. But it would require strategic planning to ensure tourism remains strong amid any geopolitical shifts. Question number 7. Would BRICS membership help reduce Jamaica's national debt? Answer: potentially yes. Jamaica's high national debt has been a significant barrier to its economic growth. If Jamaica joins BRICS and gains access to NDB loans with fewer restrictions, it could refinance some of its debt at better rates or reinvest in high-yield projects that generate more revenue. This wouldn't erase Jamaica's debt overnight, but it could create a path toward gradual debt reduction by giving Jamaica more favorable funding options that promote sustainable growth rather than quick fixes. Question number 8. Can Jamaica really trust BRICS countries to support its best interests, given the alliance's own international challenges? Answer: BRICS members themselves don't always see eye to eye, as each country has its own agenda. However, the alliance is focused on creating an alternative to the Western-dominated financial system, which aligns with Jamaica's desire for more autonomy. For Jamaica, this means it can access resources while participating in an economic bloc that values multipolar power. Yet, it's crucial for Jamaica to enter these partnerships cautiously, ensuring that it remains an equal player within BRICS and that its voice is heard amid the larger economy's influence. These questions and answers provide you with a balanced view of the potential rewards and risk of Jamaica's hypothetical move to BRICS, addressing the main concerns you might have while still highlighting the allure and potential benefits. This combination of realism and optimism could resonate with your intrigue by Jamaica's possibilities for self-reliance and growth. Now let's get into my reaction and commentary. Remember that the US dollar is the world's primary reserve currency. and it is also the most widely used currency for trade and other international transactions. However, its hegemony has come into question in recent times due to geopolitical and geostrategic shifts. On a global level, de-dollarization entails a significant reduction in the use of the US dollar in world trade and financial transactions. Signs of de-dollarization are evident in the commodities space, where energy transactions are increasingly priced in non-US currencies. Globally, new payment systems are facilitating cross-border transactions without the involvement of US banks, which could undermine the dollar's clout. So we are going to talk about de-dollarization of the US dollar, because BRICS and the BRICS nation have a direct impact on the de-dollarization of the US currency. Here is why de-dollarization is happening. Since the dollar is the world's global reserve currency, that means that if inflation happens in the US, then inflation around the world will immediately follow. That's not good for any economy whatsoever. Whether you're a developing nation or a developed nation, inflation in your economy should not be dependent upon what happen in our next man country with fiat currency. So if you pay attention, all the BRICS nation stop trade in a USD. When BRICS nation sell oil to each other, then trade in their own currency. So that is de-dollarization in full effect. So the US dollar lose its dominance when it comes to BRICS, and BRICS are working for them own currency. Jamaica joining BRICS would be a good thing. You see, the IMF and the World Bank, for the life of me, what me could never understand or even wrap my head around is how me if you borrow money from you, money where me have to pay back with high interest rate, and you are going to dictate terms to me and tell me where me can and cannot spend the money on. For example, me can't take the money build schools, hospitals, or roads. Me can't spend it on no key infrastructure like those. Now, imagine for a second you go check your virgin and say, yo, lend me a thing. And it will come with the same terms and condition. Before me lend you money, what you want if you do? If me lend you money, you can't spend it on this and that, You can't take your money for buy grocery put in your house. You can't use the money paying the bills for your house. And you can't use it for spend on your car. And you can't use it for carry your go work. Would you borrow the money from your friend, or would you seek an alternative source to borrow the money elsewhere from someone else? Because film terms and condition kind of overboard. Well, I see same thing with the World Bank and the IMF. The question is there any other option where Jamaica could have got to outside of the World Bank or IMF, because these loans come with a severe downside to our economy and to our economic growth. Because on one hand, them are lending you money, but them are make you know, say, yo, this is what you have to spend it on. I saw you have to spend it. And them are watch you like a hawk. The money where you have to pay them back at high interest rate. Them are watch how you are spend your money. Because once you borrow it, it's no longer their money, your money, because you have to pay back with interest. So I never understand the terms and condition of those deals or contract where both government continuously assign. And now when you listen how the NDB lend BRICS members money, it's a total contrast and a better deal for your economy and your country compared to the IMF and the World Bank. The World Bank and the IMF, them alone benefit from when you borrow money from them. Trust me, it doesn't work out for the developing nations like Jamaica. It doesn't benefit our economy and our country one bit. These global lending agencies, you think World Bank and IMF could have dare tell America where to do with the money and how to spend the money? You're crazy. They could never try that with America. I don't ask nobody that. But when it comes to the third world, the developing countries like Jamaica, come like they have you under economic shackles and chain. Their austerity measures come like economic colonization, the new form of neocolonialism. That's how it come across to me. Remember, the government have to pay back a loan, It's a must that the loan is paid back. I remember say the government not short at tax dollars. So the government have sure money when it comes to generating tax from the civilian population. So I don't see no reason on earth for these people to go dictate terms to you and tell you when and how to spend the money and what to spend the money on. It is just utter ridiculous and it don't make no sense. But our politicians, well, are them my experts? Are them have the various doctor this and doctor that? So I guess me as a C student, where me not too bright and me not too dunks, them know more than me. Them are the expert. I am no financial expert or any economic expert. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking with us. What do you think? Should Jamaica join BRICS and leave the IMF and World Bank behind? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next video.